Welcome everybody, Level M Diecast, Matchbox action on deck today. This is Matchbox Collectors mix number 2 for 2023. This mix has been a little bit difficult to acquire. Stores are a little bit behind schedule, I guess would be a soft way to put it. Now, if you are an avid collector of the Matchbox collector line, you'll know that the packaging is quite different than we're used to. Normally, we're seeing the old school blue and yellow. This is a brand new special edition deco for 70th anniversary Matchbox. Of course, there is your 70th anniversary. Does specify it is for a special edition. However, these are still part of the normal collector line. It is just a special packaging, and all the decos will match each other. So if you're looking to complete 2023, you will have some boxes in the blue and yellow, and then, of course, some boxes in this new setup here. This is number 6. So the first case went 1 through 5. This case will go 6 through 12, so they are going in order, which is pretty nice. This is the 54 Jaguar D-Type. This is a brand spanking new casting for 2023. There is some deets on the back, should you want the deets on the back of the package. So we're going to go ahead and rip this guy open. Now, we are going to give these guys proper rotator time, but we are going to get them open just to kick it off. All of these decos will match each other. The orange wheels with gray. There's the Jaguar. We'll come back to that guy. Take a look at the box right now. Do things a little bit different this run. There is your box. Looks pretty good. Nice shiny Jaguar there. Kind of an open background. There is the 70th anniversary logo on this side. Another Jaguar on the back side. And then, of course, they still do have the little blueprint done up, which looks super, super cool. This one's a little bit different because it shows the number, the model name, and of course there is all the artwork on there. This one looks pretty good. Does hit a little bit high, and it looks like maybe that tire shows through the grill a little bit, but it's not too bad. Always like finding those little flaws if there are any in the boxes because it's just kind of cool. All right, next one up. This is number 7. This is, again, another brand spanking new casting for 2023. This is the Porsche 910. This one harkens back to the super fast era, the transitional era. Same with the Jaguar. There's a lot of history in the casting choices that they're doing these days. So hopefully that appeals to collectors. So there is our Porsche. We'll take a look at. That one looks nice and beefy sized. There is the Porsche box. Does have Matchbox there on the center. It is definitely a much, much different orange than what the model actually has, but it still looks pretty cool. Same old deets there, same old deets there. And then, of course, there is the box art. Love the blueprints. They just look super, super cool. This one looks to be pretty good. Looks like they didn't have any little flaws in there or nothing like that. Same wheels as the Jaguar. So we'll throw that guy there. Now we're going to get into existing castings here. This is the number 8, this is the Jaguar, I'm sorry, the MGB GT, I do apologize. 1971, this was a casting a few years ago that was originally slated to be a rally car, but was changed to be just a regular road-going version. So I'm not really sure what the change was, but it worked out perfectly fine, I think. So pretty happy to finally get this guy in a new deco, by the way. That model has not been too kind to releases. There is the box art. Looks pretty good. Orange wheels on there as well. Pretty thin ones. A little bit more realistic to the actual MGB itself. These ones are a little bit thick. Then we'll take a look at the box blueprint there. That one looks pretty good. I think that one looks really, really good. That looks almost like a drawing you'd see from the factory, which is kind of cool. A little bit different flavor on that one. All right, one that's probably going to be a little bit popular, but kind of an odd choice for a premium line. Number 9, this is the Toyota 4Runner. This is the old school first generation Toyota 4Runner. Kind of interesting. Interesting choice for premium, but I think they were trying to choose models that are impactful towards the brand, and certainly the 4Runner's definitely been that. So this was retooled a few years ago from its original version. There is the box art, which looks absolutely fantastic. Of course, the same wheels. See, there is quite a theme going on with the wheels. Same old here. And of course, there is the blueprint, which looks pretty good. I think it's a pretty fitting one. Wheels don't look right on it for sure. They look definitely off scale. But the 4Runner itself looks pretty good. Not too shabby. A little bit weird looking in there. Seeing some of the B-pillar on the passenger side there, which is kind of weird. Doesn't quite fit in that little realm. Next one up, of course, we do have a Mustang. This is the Fox Body Mustang number 10, the EX-SSP, the police version. I think the SSP stands for Special Services something or other, if I remember correctly. There is the box and the box art. Looks a little off scale. It's kind of perspective drawn, which I think is fine. It's just kind of different. Same old here. And then there is our blueprint there. That one looks pretty good. Again, just quite a big front end there, and just, you know, really, really small on the roof and stuff like that, but it still looks pretty cool. I really, really like these boxes, by the way. I really like the design that they have there. So there is the Mustang. Rolling through number 11. This one is the only duplicate in the case. There are two of these Audi RS6 Avant wagons. Again, you know, kind of an odd choice for a premium, but definitely a model that is impactful to the brand. No doubt about that. So we'll pull this guy out. Here we go. There is the box deets. Kind of looks really weird. That looks almost like somebody drew a freehand. It's almost like somebody started drawing maybe an Audi S4 maybe, and they're like, oh, I'm supposed to make it a wagon, and then just kind of made it into a wagon. I'm not gonna lie, this art's really not very good. Really not very good at all. Kind of interesting. There is the drawing, the blueprint. That one looks a lot better than the box art does for sure. Definitely looks like an off-roader just because the wheels, a little bit weird perspective on the front. But I like it because, you know, you can tell that it's not just regular computer-generated type stuff. At least that's the way it looks to me. All right, the very last model in the mix before we actually take a look at the models themselves. Number 12, this is the Mercedes-Benz G63 AMG. We have seen this in premium before. This is not new to the premium realm. This model is a little bit different for the premium versus the standard basic range. Basic range does not have an interior, but the premium one does have an interior because it is considered an extra part, makes it a little bit extra expensive. There is the box art, which I think is fantastic for this one. This one is one of those models that is perfect from the perspective because it's very long. It's just perfect. It just works out really, really good for this one. And then there is your blueprint. That one looks super cool as well. That one looks very appropriate with the wheels, the off-road wheels, all that good stuff like that. Looks like all the deets in there are pretty good. Doesn't look like they really, except for right there. Again, just maybe it's because of the weird perspective they're supposed to be giving it, but like the B pillars in front of the seat, but maybe it's just perspective. Who knows? Just perspective. So, all right, let's pull out our rotator guy and take a look at the models. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to kick this off. We'll roll right in through the same order, 6 to 12. This is our 54 Jag. Like I said, this is a brand spanking new casting. This is one of those heritage castings, as I would like to call them. Castings that they seem to have chosen for, historical purpose for the brand. Old school models, whether it be the Lesney era, the regular wheel era, maybe even something a little bit more modern than that. But I think it's fantastic. One thing that you will notice about all these models, there are no moving parts, which is a little bit of a bummer. But this one looks pretty good. I do like the big fin on the back. All these grays are kind of a satin finish to them. I think it looks really, really good. Number 70 on there. Of course, for 70th anniversary, so you're going to see 70 all over everything we take a look at. Prints look pretty good on the front. Prints look pretty good on the side. They have a running theme with the wheels. There is the deets on the side. Looks a little bit weird just because it's so close up, but I assure you the prints are pretty good. There is the base deets. I am happy to report this model is all die-cast. So this base is metal, which is kind of interesting. You can see that it is painted up, which looks pretty good. So very interesting to find that that is metal. Definitely was surprised for that. Taking a look at the base deets here, Matchbox 1406, MB 1406 is your man number. Matchbox 23 on the plate as well, looks pretty good. And there is the opening, of course, made in Thailand. A little bit of a quick shot of the interior. It's a pretty good one. It's definitely a pretty good one. Definitely like that one for sure. All right. We're going to roll on to the portion just to kick it off. Yes, this one is a metal base as well. Nice metal base. That's very, very, very surprising. MB 1407 is the man number on this. R51 is our date codes. They were produced in 2022. Man, I'm a little biased towards Porsche. I'm not going to lie. I actually really just picked up the Superfast 910 just the other day. I got it from a thrift store. So it's kind of cool that this one kind of showed up now. It's quite different than the Superfast version. But this one still looks fantastic. There is 70 on it in several places. You got your orange down the center, dual white stripes as well. It is the same tri-spoke style wheel as the previous one we just looked at, the Jag. So they are the same wheels. Good prints on the back, look pretty good. Of course, deck goes all the way around it. Looks very, very good. There is the prints on the back. Looks especially nice. It says Porsche 910 on the plate. Very, very nice deco on the side as well. Great profile. This one could definitely use some new wheels. But I think for a factory version, this one looks fantastic. Left-hand drive. Very, very nice. I definitely like that one. All right, moving on to our 71 MGB. This one, like I said, we've only gotten like 2 colors of this, and it's just, I think it's a good casting. I really don't think it's been given much love, and I understand it's probably not very popular with most collectors. This one, though, in full premium deco is fantastic, and I really, 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 really like the tan interior. I think the tan interior really sets it off. It has a British racing flair to it. Even though there's no green anywhere around it, I do like the triple stripes on there in orange, white, and black. A little bit of decos in the back we'll take a look at. Got your logos on there, MG. This one looks fantastic. This one using the kind of the lace wheel, kind of the smaller lace wheel, I think is a really, really good look to it. A lot of people will be like, oh, all these have the same wheels on them, but they don't. There's only 2 different wheels, but at least they're not all the same wheels. There is a print on the front, which looks pretty good. Deco deets on the side. Definitely like that one as well. The back is the best part, though. All your MG logos, your MGT on there. Looks very, very nice. Of course, chrome base on this one. Plastic base, so existing casting, so nothing fancy with that one. So definitely like that one. That one is a pretty good addition. All right, moving on to the 4Runner. Now, this one is an interesting choice for premium. I don't really feel like it needed premium. They've done quite some pretty good basic range versions, but you can see right now there is no rear tampo print on this. And this is supposed to be a premium, and there's no rear print on it. It's just unacceptable. It's unacceptable for being a premium, especially with this being the special 70th anniversary. The fact that we don't get print on the back of that 4Runner is just dismal. Just dismal. I mean, we've gotten some really good basic range versions, and I think the only way that this really would have been actually a superb version is to have rear plate detail on there, and it just doesn't have them. It just doesn't have them. But if you exclude that, of course, the rest of it looks pretty good. Deco on the side looks pretty good. It's relatively average. Does say 4x4 on it in Matchbox. Of course, the print in the front is the money. That one looks especially nice. Headlights look good. Grille looks good. That is part of the base. That is a very, very nice addition. It used to be part of the interior, but now it's part of the base. This was modified. Casting was modified. Does have the off-road tire on those tri-spokes. Again, no deets on the rear, which is definitely a bummer. There is your deets on the bottom. Of course, no new copyright date. They just modified how it was assembled. Still looks exactly the same as the previous 4Runner. All right, moving on to the Ford Mustang. Mustang, and this one suffers the same fate as the 4Runner. There are no rear deets. Now, we have seen this particular casting in premium before, and it had full deets on it. Now, the headlights are part of the window. They're lensed headlights, so there's really absolutely no reason why there shouldn't be rear prints on this one. Really, really bummed out. Now, I do understand that there's pretty, involved printing all over the rest of the model. I just can't get past the fact that there's no taillight print on there. When we got the blue one, that one was really, really nice. The prints on the back looked good with the taillights and stuff. It really, really set it off. It really went well with the lensed headlights in the front. And it kind of makes you look at the model and say, it's kind of pointless to do it, lensed headlights, if you're not going to do the taillights, if you're not going to print them up. I mean, that's one of the reasons why you do that, is to eliminate prints. This is all flat black prints all over this on top of the matte silver color they have for all of the models. Of course, number 70, definitely unit number 70. A little bit of a paint flaw there on the top of the door. It is what it is. They're mass produced. They're not built by hand or anything like that. This side looks far better. Definitely better. The wheels are okay. The orange is kind of a weird color to have on these, but this one definitely looks a little weird, but I do like it. Of course, this is an existing casting, so nothing new to see on the base with those deets. All right, Audi RS6 wagon, RS6 Avant. This casting is a quite popular casting. I think Matchbox did a fantastic job. When it first debuted, it was, it was a thing. But, it came out during the golden era of Matchbox, the modern golden era, which we're getting back to. And the fact that they brought this casting back and they're using it extensively is definitely a very, very good thing. However, this model has always gotten very, very good prints front and back on it. So it really wasn't like in need of a premium version. I think if we were going to do a premium version, maybe they should have done something a little bit more freestyle and a little bit less focused on the brand. But nonetheless, it's here now. Like I said, I do think it's a really good casting. The print on the sides looks pretty good. I do like how it goes down the side and then swoops up towards the back. These wheels do look good on this model. I think they are a good fit. The print on the front is very, very good, although it's relatively flat. You don't really get a whole lot of depth or anything to that print, but it does look pretty good. Almost looks like it's kind of printed and then like frosted or dusted, which is kind of interesting. And of course, the rear prints are all done up. There is your Audi RS logo in the back. By the plate, it says 70 MBX Audi on there, which looks pretty good. Get that to focus a little bit. Having a little bit of struggles. There we go. Taillights look pretty good. So it's not a bad one. All right, moving on to the last one in the mix. This is the G-Wagon. This is the 6x6. Now, I mentioned it is a different casting variation when it's a premium. So the only difference is you get an interior. The basic range one just has a black window with no interior. They add the interior for the premium one because it justifies a little bit higher price point. I've always liked this casting. I think it was an interesting choice for Matchbox to pursue. But they did have to make some sacrifices in order to have a 6-axle truck. And I think that's okay. It's very small scale. Very small scale from what a G-Wagon should be. Especially if you put it next to something like that Jaguar D-Type, which it would just run over. But it's there. It's there. Of course, this is premium version, so it has deco all the way around. There is your 70th logo. It does say 6x6 in the back. Wraps around pretty good to the back. It's not perfectly lined up, but it's pretty close. And then there is your rear deets on the back. G63 6x6. That one looks pretty good. Taillights are just done up in black. There's no red on them, which is kind of interesting. AMG on the plate. And then the front is kind of the same deal, just a bunch of black print on it, which I actually think looks really, really good on this one. Particularly looks pretty good. So that one is pretty fancy. I do not believe that these have any difference in the man numbers versus interior, no interior, but that one is 1056. Should you want to check that out, just want to showcase that and let you know what the man number is. All right, obviously we're going to roll out with the 2 new castings because there's no reason not to. Quite shocked that they are metal bases. Now, I don't know if they're metal bases for the models themselves or if they're metal bases because they're in premium. But I assure you that we will more than likely see these two castings of the basic range at some point in time, or maybe a 5-pack or 9-pack exclusive. Obviously, there's no moving parts, so there's no reason why they would be restricted to premium. And since there are new moving parts, obviously we will not see them in moving parts. But that is a pretty good mix. I do like them a lot. The models are pretty nice. The matching decos are pretty cool. Definitely something to continue to celebrate the 70th anniversary Matchbox. So we're going to roll out. Appreciate you guys. Drop a comment. Love to read everything you guys have to say. And I appreciate every single one of you. Don't forget to subscribe. We'll catch you next time. Level him. Peace.